It's time to teach you some super powerful foreplay tips so you can get your lady absolutely fired up and desperate to rip your clothes off. Now, foreplay is really about the build-up, about the anticipation of things to come, teasing as well. Like, all of these components contribute to really successful, powerful foreplay. So we're gonna use all of those elements in the tips that I'm gonna lay out for you today. Let's get cracking with tip number 1, and that is whispering. Your voice is extremely powerful. Dirty talk in particular is like a superpower that most guys really don't take advantage of enough. You see, with whispering, by lowering the tone of your voice and whispering, specifically leaning off to the side and whispering something into her ear, it alludes to this idea of there being some kind of secret between the two of us that's too taboo for the rest of the world to hear. Now, what you're saying could be totally innocuous, totally regular, whatever, but just the act of whispering something into her ear, maybe at the restaurant, at the bar before you guys go home, or even in the bedroom before you start taking her clothes off, whispering gets her into this very intimate, shall we say, naughty taboo frame of mind. And when you combine this with dirty talk, it makes it 10 times more powerful, in my opinion. Foreplay tip number 2 is eye contact, and specifically the way you do your eye contact, the way you look at a woman. You can give a woman a look which implies that you want to take her home and absolutely devour her. You're looking at her like a fat kid would look at a piece of cake. The wrong way to look at a woman, and that is the kind of look that that an autistic guy would give somebody if he's just staring there in a social circle watching somebody talk. It's like dead, unresponsive eyes. Like, no emotion, I'm just staring at you. It's like I'm not receiving anything. That's autistic dead eyes, okay? Good eye contact is firm, consistent, like it's unwavering and it's locked. It's emotionally receptive at the same time. This is a very hard thing to try and explain in words, obviously. If you can give a woman a look like you're looking into her soul, it will get her wet between the legs. Here's the way I kind of learned to give sexy eye contact to a woman. When I'm talking with her, or even better, it's easier to do when you're listening to the woman. You're looking her dead in the eyes. In the back of your mind, you're thinking, you have no idea what I'm gonna do to you when I get you home. You are in so much trouble, young lady. That's the thought that's going on in the back of my head. That's kind of like the belief system that I'm brainwashing myself with so that my body elicits the correct body language. And the way you can tell if you're doing it correctly is, do you get a good response from it? Are women shyly smiling and looking away when they catch you staring at them, or when you're looking at them, or when you're talking to them? Are they getting distracted and fumbling their words while you're maintaining eye contact with them? If she's getting that kind of almost intimidated reaction from you whilst smiling and still feeling comfortable, so that's a good reaction, then you know you're nailing your eye contact. However, if she's feeling awkward and skittish and wants to get the fuck out of there, well, that means you probably have these dead autistic eyes going on. Foreplay tip number 3, kissing the neck. It's a very, very sensitive erogenous zone for a woman. Remember back in high school, people would, come to school with like hickeys and stuff on their neck. It really does turn women on when you know how to kiss and suckle on her neck properly. Ideally, if she's an adult and she has work to go to, you don't want to leave a hickey on her goddamn neck. And that's also another thing I'll add here. Your ability to kiss a woman on the neck, sensually, with passion, but not leave a mark, that is the sign of a true pro. Obviously, kissing is fine, but if you're gonna sort of go with a bit more pressure and like bite, shall we say, you want to bite with pressure, not with the intention of like breaking flesh. So it's more of a pressing sensation with your lips and your teeth rather than a like biting sensation. Up along the trap area here, this is a very, very erogenous, highly erogenous zone for women. There you can actually bite with a lot more force than you would on the neck. And you could actually leave, marks here because she can cover it up with a shirt. That's a fantastic thing to do. By the way, in the middle of doggy style sex, get your teeth into her traps up here. Women absolutely crave that when it's done correctly. But like I said before, this is with the idea of foreplay in mind. So, you're snuggling up behind her at the bar, consensually. Obviously, I'm assuming you and this woman have already had sex, or sex is on the table. It's not like the first time you've met this woman. Snuggling up behind her at the bar like this, kissing up on the neck, nibbling on her traps, or when you get home to your apartment, doing the same thing prior to the clothes coming off. Number 4. Now, this is my all-time favorite game to play, I guess you could say, as foreplay, as anticipation, as build up before we get home while we're still out on a date, be it at a bar, at a restaurant, wherever. And that is a remote controlled vibrator. Lately, I've been experimenting with the wevibe. It's a vibrator she slips inside of her. This is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just telling you which brand I use. You slip it inside of her, and then you can have like an app on your phone where you can change the variance and speed and the rhythm. The reason I love this so much is, again, kind of similar to the whispering concept. It creates this taboo secrecy between you and her that the rest of the world isn't aware of, which makes it so much more erotic and sexual and arousing for her. The taboo, the idea of getting caught, is a very, very arousing fantasy for a lot of women. It's kind of like an exhibitionist thing as well. She maybe gets off on the idea of other people seeing her enjoying pleasure. Also, fun game to play to incorporate into this is, you know, as a waitress is coming over to you taking your order or at the bar or whatever, that's when I will amplify it so that she has to put on a straight face while she's engaging with another woman. That can create some very, very fun and memorable experiences for both her and you. Now, all of these techniques, they put her into a submissive headspace, which allows her to fall more into her feminine polarity and thus you into your masculine polarity. And that's where everyone wants to be for the most ideal and optimal and pleasurable and enjoyable sexual experience for both of you. Now, if you'd like to learn some other ways to make a woman fall absolutely head over heels in love with you, then I suggest you check out this video right over here where I talk about some forbidden sex positions that will do exactly that.